Now here's some interesting things that I thought people would be upset, but people are not. Marty in Grosse Pointe says, what concerns me is why would KC let Sneed go? I thought Mahomes restructured his contract to keep him. Makes me wonder.
Well, because it would have been a 1-year thing under the franchise tag, and now they can use that money elsewhere.
I'm not paying Sneed nearly $20 million a year while having to pay St. Brown, Sewell, Hutch, etc. I'm fine with them not making that move. I trust Brad, Jamie, and Ann Arbor. The problem is the salary cap can be manipulated. It's basically fake, as we say.
Well, it's fake to a point. I mean, Doug likes to point out, because I say all the time, you can find cap space out of thin air, which I think you can. But at some point, you do have to pay the piper,
right? Like
Kansas City is, right? I mean, Kansas City had to let Tyreek Hill go. Kansas City had to let L'Jarius Sneed go or find a trade, right?
Right.
Because they couldn't afford to hang on to him because they have too many players. Like, well, it's Mahomes making $50 million, and now you got Kelsey making some money, and you're going to have some other guys making money.
And they have
the big defensive tackle is making big time money.
And they have good young corners too. Stoney, the contract and guaranteed money would hamstring them from the future, and who knows how effective Sneed will be at the end of the contract. Maybe Holmes has plans to add another decent free agent corner at a lesser cost, or he'll be best available cornerback in first or other round in the draft. That's from John and Dearborn. That's possible, yeah.
I don't mind the 1-year free agent signings, knowing what they face in the off seasons here. Like, we do expect that before the season begins, Amon-Ra St. Brown's going to get a deal. I expect at some point during the course of the year, Jared Goff gets his deal. Okay, Ali McNeil is entering his last year, so they're going to have to give him a contract, right?
You'd think.
And that's all before you hit Penei Sewell, who is going to set the market for offensive linemen in the NFL. He will be the highest paid offensive lineman when his contract when he's ready to negotiate.
At least he should be.
And then you've got Hutchinson a year after that. There's all these things that come down the road. So 1-year deals make all the sense in the world to me because they don't affect what happens in 2025.
I keep saying the Lions' philosophy of re-signing their own and giving long-term contracts to other teams' free agents, but I think that's wise because look at the teams that are having cap casualties and cuts. They are teams that spend on other teams' free agents. Long-term championship teams seem to sign their own free agents or shorter-term contract. It feels like the Lions are now following championship models of winning and not falling for the traps.
Well, what championship model is that? Because Kansas City isn't that the standard in the NFL right now?
Yeah, but that's because of Mahomes.
Whatever. The point is you're still restricted by a cap, and they've had to let guys go.
Well, in the New England years, they would do that all the time.
Well, because Brady would take less.
Yes. Am I the only one who thinks the Lions already have all of their secondary starters? 2 new guys at cornerback 1 and cornerback 2, Branch in the slot, Kirby and Iffy at safety. So where does anyone new fit in? Well, Robertson was not drafted to be a starter.
Or signed.
Signed to be right.
No, I don't think he was either. And are you counting on Emmanuel Mosley being a starter?
No, I think he's counting on Carlton Davis being one and Robertson being.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So I don't think that's the case. So if you're asking the question, if the ticket texter is asking the question, am I the only one who thinks that there's that? Yes, I think you might be the only.
Yes,
at least the only one between the three of us.
Yes.